We'll now get started with our post-qualifying press conference. We have the AAA Texas 500 place qualifier, Greg Biffle, driver the number 16 3M Ford. He's a winner of April's Samsung Mobile 500. Greg, talk about your run and coming back to Texas, a track that you're so successful at.
Well, I'm really excited to be back here in Texas, and it was a good qualifying lap. It was a little frightening, actually. The car was chatter in the front tires, chatter in the back, and I wasn't, I was in and out of the gas, so I can't wait to go see my throttle trace because it probably looks like a saw blade over here, over in 1 and 2. I wasn't sure really what the car was doing. I didn't have a good feel for it, but I drove it in there at commitment level, 100%. Probably overdrove turn 1 and paid the price, center all the way out. I really lost a lot of speed there. But I'm sure Jimmy's happy about that. And 3 and 4, I was pretty good. Calmed down a little bit and got through 3 and 4 really good. So the guys gave me a heck of a car. And it's the same car we won with here in the spring. And I'm really excited about having a good starting spot and a good pit selection for Sunday's race.
If you have any questions, if you could raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Any questions? Right here, Dave.
Greg, are you surprised Jimmy put that number up when he did, going relatively early in the session?
Yeah. What's weird is normally you can write a book about how the speeds pick up throughout qualifying, always. And today wasn't really like that. Not taking anything away from the 48, but from when the 48 went and I went and on, guys were, I'm like, oh, look, Casey looks like a good lap, 5th. Mark Martin, oh, he looks really good, 10th. They're just, even the guys after us, or even the guys, between Jimmy and myself, that speed, that automatic, what you would call automatic track speed wasn't there. And I think it's because the sun hadn't really gone down far enough, and the temperature really hadn't started dropping all that much to give the track, enough juice, if you will. When you meet that critical temperature when it starts cooling down and the grip level really goes up, and I don't think it just didn't really happen here. And not taking anything away from Jimmy, that was a heck of a lap that early, But like I said, it just didn't seem like the speeds picked up like we normally see.
We're also joined by third place qualifier for Sunday's AAA Texas 500, Kyle Busch, driver the number 18 Snickers Toyota. Kyle, talk about your run out there.
We had a really good lap. Unfortunately, I didn't get my practice run with a car that good, so I could have a second shot, faster lap. But guys did a great job from what we did have in practice to making those changes and making the car really, really good. And getting the speed out of it that we were able to was excellent. So to qualify up front like that, hadn't done that very many times here at Texas, so looking forward to working on race trim with that package right there and getting going for Sunday.
We'll go ahead and continue with questions. If you could raise your hand. We got one in the back. Don?
Believe it or not, I'm back here somewhere. For both of you, this is Don Culber with Morris News Service. Both of you are kind of, by your positions here, you're kind of in the middle of, so much attention being spent with Brad and spent with Jimmy. Obviously, it's your job to kind of steal the focus away from them. How difficult is that?
Well, I'm used to it, so it's not an issue for me. We'll try and win here on Sunday, and that's really what I care about is winning here on Sunday. And yeah, the points matter, but certainly we're a long ways back. But each position, when it comes down to Homestead or Vegas, makes a difference. So I just drive my car and do the best I can.
I think when you are championship contender, that you do deserve the attention. So that's fine and dandy. That's the way it should be. But there needs to be a little bit given to the guys that still run well throughout the race. Obviously their sponsors are paying a lot of money to see them out there, and it's not that we're just out there making laps, but that we do have something to achieve yet for the rest of the year, and for myself, especially, it's just wins. I guess same goes for Greg, and I'm sure plenty of other guys out there. So, you know, it'd be nice to get a pat on the back every once in a while.
Right.
Nice job qualifying.
Appreciate that.
David Carvel, NASCAR.com. Kyle, you've had a pretty good last 7 weeks or so. I mean, does it ever make you wonder what you might have been capable of had you qualified for this thing?
It'd still be like 6th or 7th right now. So we've had, surprise, surprise, we've had enough bad races still that it takes us out of the running for it, you know. But, you know, if you finish, you know, if I go back to Loudon and I give myself a 2nd, and I go back to Chicago and I give myself an 8th, you know, realistic finishes of where we were running, you know, we could be the points leader. But I'm sure there's a few other guys out there that could do the same thing, you know. So, you know, it all is what it is. But we missed, so it doesn't really matter anyway. No, I think I don't think our performance has changed much all year. I think we've been good. We've been fast. We've had great opportunities to finish up front and to challenge for wins. I think the biggest thing that kept us from getting those finishes was just stupid luck. I mean, having 3 engine failures in a row and blowing a brake rotor and having tires going flat and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it tried to hurt us again at Martinsville there when we had a right rear tire going down, and finally I spun out, and then we were able to come back and get a 2nd place finish out of the day. So, you know, the gremlin is still running around somewhere. We haven't caught him and kicked him to the curb yet, but we need to before 13.
Right here, in the front.
Hey, Steve Richards at PRN. Next week at Phoenix, I mean, Greg, you first Phoenix race, you finished 3rd. Kyle, you finished 6th. I mean, how did that track race, and what do you expect, or what do you hope for this time around?
I hope it aged a little bit, so then we can all race a little bit better. But you know, it was a little bit difficult to pass, I felt like, still, and you know, getting into turn 1 was a little bit slick, but I think that's kind of always been the tradition at Phoenix. So I think you know, I haven't heard much about the test and how the test went out there, so you know, I think that it should be a good one, hopefully, and you know, we just need to get a little bit better. Greg needs to be just like that much better, but you know, Denny was pretty fast out there last time, so we'll see if we can't steal some more of their notes.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I remember the race. It was a good race. I agree with Kyle. You know, the groove just needs to widen out a little bit more. Maybe the ARCA cars need to run there before us. I would tell you what, the track changed dramatically at Kansas when those guys were out on the track. I think that was the division that was out there. I mean, the groove was, you know, 3 car lengths wider, 2.5 car lengths wider. Seemed like it put rubber down on that new asphalt and made a huge difference for us. So, you know, the track just needs to widen out, and you know, you get a little bit more racy. It's slick getting into 1 and 3, and the back dog leg is a little odd, but you know, it's a fun track.
Any other additional questions? Gentlemen, thank you very much.